Hello and welcome to the 50 Women Over 50 podcast. I'm your host, Sherrilynne Starkie. On this podcast, I highlight women who have broken down barriers, challenged the status quo, or have simply lived remarkable lives beyond the age of 50. So far, my guests have included pioneering entrepreneurs, passionate activists, artists, educators, and more. Get ready to be inspired, informed, and empowered as together we extol the lives of 50 exceptional women over 50. And today we have a special episode because my guest is my big sister, Stacey Diffin-Lafleur. She's a woman who's been a profound influence for me my whole life as I observed her stepping into each new phase of life just before me. She introduced me to fashion, makeup, music, especially David Bowie. She modeled how to have a successful marriage, and she showed me her own unique way to balance her career and family. Perhaps not so coincidentally, Stacey and I have taken similar career paths. She's an award-winning social and digital marketing pioneer and a talented writer and editor. She's lived her whole life in Ottawa, raising her sons and building lifelong friendships that she has held dear through each decade. Join me in welcoming Stacey to the show. Let's start at the beginning. Tell me about your 50th birthday.
My 50th birthday was a while ago now, but it was a really special event because a dear friend of mine who is no longer with us put on a surprise birthday party for me. She had me over for dinner with some friends and my husband. And then we went out to a local watering hole and surprise, she had another friend of mine's band playing and the place was jam-packed with tons of people I know. It was a really good surprise. I didn't feel 50. I don't feel 50 now, but we partied and we had a good time. And it was a good way to start. I was transitioning between two jobs then. Both of my lives had come together, all three of them. It was a really fun night. Yeah, that's what I did when I turned 50. When I turned a little older, I every year since then has been quieter, which I'm thankful for. But who knows what I'll do next, right?
And how did you feel about turning 50?
It didn't bother me that much. I felt more about, I think, turning 30 might have been awful. 40, I was cruising through. I was in great shape. Career was taking off. I was traveling, having fun. 30, I didn't like. I was fat and pregnant and didn't own a house yet and had a lot of trouble. 60 and on, we'll see what happens. But 50, I was fun.
Yeah. So it didn't change your life at all?
No, it made me a little bit more crazier, if anything. I decided I've done it. I paid my dues, raised my kids, done the college thing, done the job thing, bought the house, did it all. So from now on, from 50 on, I decided my life was mine to have fun with, and that's what I do.
What advice would you give your 30-year-old self?
Shut up. Quit worrying.
Quit worrying, right?
Shut up, quit worrying. And you know what? Not everybody's looking at you and no one cares. The people you think that were worried about you or caring about what you were doing, they couldn't care less. They've got their own lives to live. And I would put that through to everybody now. When you're thinking that you're sitting somewhere and, I don't look right or people are looking at me funny, you know what? They couldn't care less. They don't notice. They don't care. Their lives are what's going on. And turn that into yourself. Are you looking around worrying about everyone else? No. So I just...
You reminded me of yoga class because a lot of people worry about going into the exercises classes. Am I going to look silly doing this? And the fact of the matter is we're all so busy trying to do it ourselves. We don't look at anybody else. And
no.
I think that's a lesson for life, really.
It is. You know what? Live how you want to live. And yeah, people are looking or smiling or laughing or caring. Hey, that's a bonus. But I don't think they are. I think everybody's got their own problems that they're marching to. They've got their own, they know that the garbage is under the sink and it hasn't been taken out and all that stuff. Who cares? Just keep having, really, I say that to people now. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It'll get taken out. Things will happen. Life goes on.
What are you doing for fun these days?
It may sound silly, but I have taken it upon myself to keep myself really busy. My partner is an antisocial person who doesn't like going out and seeing things and doing stuff. So I've taken it upon myself to get out and off my butt and do it. I play darts once a week with people that I had never known before, and I'm having a wonderful time. I go out for walks. I enjoy my phone too much. I got to say that, but I try to keep busy and involved in other people's lives just to be nosy. I volunteer a lot. When I was at Blues Fest, I love music. Music is something that really appeals to me. And the number of people who looked at me and went, "Oh, aren't you cute? Isn't that nice? Oh, don't you look great with your hat on and your Doc Marten boots?" And I'm like, I've always looked like this. If you get any closer, I'm going to bite you. Or people offering to hold my camera up so I can get a picture or make space for me at the front because, oh, she's tiny and she needs to get in. And it's like, listen, I'm going to knife you. I can make it to the front without your help. Thank you very much. I've been there all my life. But it happens time and time again. People think that I'm something different because I dress the way I always have and go out. Well, it's nothing. It's just Stacey. I'm going to do that. You'll see me here when I'm 80, if I live that long. But yeah, these people that seem to think you can pat somebody on their head. Anyway,
Patronizing.
Don't ever patronize me or don't think I'm stupid ever, because that is your big mistake.
I think that because you're past a certain age that you should be home in your rec room watching, what do they call it?
Angela Lansbury or something. It's Hallmark Network. Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever catch me watching a Hallmark movie, kill me. Or no, don't have to kill me because I'm dead sitting up. I'm Stacey. I have a lot of opinions and I share them quite freely, and I get involved in a lot of stuff if I can.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Dead.
Oh, come on. Don't say that.
In 10 years, I don't know where I see myself in 10 years. I don't. I hope I'm happy. I hope I'm healthy. I've been healthy all my life. God knows why. But 10 years from now, I don't know. Hopefully I'll be on an island somewhere looking at the ocean and thinking, yeah, this is good. Give me another piece of melon and let's go swimming.
So no work.
I don't know. I'll probably be involved in something, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm torn right now. I've been transitioning myself quite a bit lately into making better decisions and being healthier. So in 10 years, we'll see. Working? No. Looking after my grandkids and traveling with them? Yes. That's what I want to do. Have fun with girls. Yes. And teach them all the stuff I know. Teach them about confidence and being confident and doing what's right for them. I never had a lot of confidence when I was a kid. And I think that has steered me in a lot of wrong ways and made me choose the easy way a lot of times. And, taking the easy way is, 40 years ago, it seemed like a good idea. Right now, I think maybe I should have thought about this a bit more and maybe waited to make that decision. So I'm going to hopefully have them have some more 360 perspective on what they're doing, rather than just take the easy road and make it safe.
So that is a good segue into the next question about what are you most hopeful about for the future?
I'm hopeful that we'll see women take charge in business more and get through this mess that has been created by us not being at the head of business. The more and more I see women in business going to the top of business, the more companies I see that are succeeding. I have known many women presidents of companies, and I am friends with them to this day. I really think that we as females have the empathy and the multitasking skills that are needed in business right now. You look around and all the nonsense we're seeing right now because of what has been created. I'd like to have governments also respect the citizens and not think of us as stupid sheep that just vote to keep them in power.
That's a pretty lofty goal.
I would like to see my girls have the choices, can make the choices whatever they want to do. That's what I would like to see. I like to see girls being at the top of the pile, not walking around hidden in cloaks, not walking around apologizing, but walking around and taking charge. And I think we can do that. I don't see why we don't do that. And I'm angry because we don't do that we sometimes go, oh, okay, all right, okay, I can compromise. Other people don't compromise. They get what they want. we've been taught to compromise all our lives, I think. And I don't think that's done us any good.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is the childbearing. Like, we are the ones that bear the children. So that means that we have to negotiate around that fact of life with our careers.
With our entire careers and our entire lives, our bodies are made to do this. Yes. However, the wear and tear on them is beyond description. Men, luckily for them, because they can't take pain or anything too traumatic, skip through life pretty nicely, I think. They may get a little bit ill. They may age. They may get arthritis, but they don't have the pelvic floor issues that we do they?
Oh, no, they don't. No, they don't. That's for sure. All right. On to the quick round.
All right.
That's off the top of your head. What are you reading, watching, binging right now?
I've been watching Painkiller and all the other shows about OxyContin. I've been watching, I don't watch a lot of fantasy or comedy. I like to watch documentaries. I like to learn what happened with OxyContin. Oh my God. I cannot believe that in the years 2000 and more, that this stuff was able to make it to the market without a safety net. Not only make it to the market, but decimate an entire generation with opioids, and everyone just thought that was, that's just business. It's not just business. Numbing out an entire population is not business.
It's greed.
That's what I've been learning about.
It's greed. And you know what?
Greed.
It'll happen again. That's the sad thing. It will happen again. The next cycle will come around. Like, we had the Rolling Stones in the late 60s singing about Mother's Little Helper.
Yes.
They had a whole generation of wives walking around stoned out of their minds. And then here we have
the Prozac generation. Remember that? Everybody in their 30s was on Prozac for a while. Name me someone who wasn't. Everyone I know at one point was taking something to help them to sleep, help them to wake up, help them to stay thin.
But they still are.
Help them to think.
They still are.
I know. It's crazy. Well, yeah, they are. Yeah.
I went to the cinema this week, as you are aware, and I saw an ad there for Ozempic on the wall outside the ladies' room at the cinema.
Yeah. Yeah. While you're eating popcorn and having fun. That shouldn't be allowed, right? Why is that there? It's just there to annoy you.
I was pretty shocked that they were doing that. I know that these cinemas will take advertising from anybody, but Ozempic is it's a serious deal. And this is something that we only are beginning to understand how it changes the human body. And I so hope I'm wrong about this, but I might not be. That something have and the other shoe's going to drop, and we're going to find out that it's not the miracle drug that everybody thought it was. People are going to get sick. People are going to get hurt. People are going to die from this drug because it wasn't
just Adderall. There's all the other things that people take to make them smarter and think hey, I'm no saint. Like when I had my kids, I took everything I could to make me skinny. And darn it, I was skinny. I haven't slept in 10 years, but what the hell? I was thin and I looked fabulous. Now I'm healthy and old and skinny and wrinkly, but at least I got here. I bet a lot of people taking all the medication I took, that's not even legal now, that stuff that they were giving me.
Yeah. Remember all that? Ionament, all that stuff. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to happen with Ozempic right now. It's just too big of a trend. And, you're not.
Well, the pandemic had a lot to add to that. A lot of people stayed home and put on their COVID-15, their COVID-20.
Oh, yes.
Like I've seen a lot, like people coming out now, and we're seeing a lot more parties and gatherings, a lot more than we even did last summer. And I'm seeing a heavier population. I really am.
For sure. I'm still struggling to get rid of my COVID-16. And the struggle is real. It's a lot easier to put it on than it is to take it off.
It is. Chocolate is sweet.
Yeah, it was more like red wine.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Okay, what charities are you currently supporting, volunteering for? What are you doing in the community?
I do a lot of work for palliative care and seniors, but I also do a lot of work for children, and making sure that children are fed in the morning is a big deal for me. I have volunteered at kitchens. I have gone to Severn Avenue School and see what the breakfasts do there. I have seen children that are coming in, that are getting fed an English muffin and some protein, and they're going in and their school and they're making it happen. A lot of these kids come from neighborhoods where that night, through no fault of their own or even their moms, they just don't have the food. They just don't have the nutrition. They could be living on nachos or corn chips or craft dinner. Like, I really do think if you're going to do something, give it to a food bank. Make sure that when you do give to a food bank, hungry children upset me.
I just recently found out that there's a food bank in Manotick where I live.
Yes, there is.
Quite an affluent area. But one of my clients shares an office with the food bank, and they are very much focused on getting food to needy families right here in this community. And I'm sure that more so now than ever with the economy.
Yes. Where I live, there's a lot of big houses, but there's no furniture in them. There are people that have, they're property rich and everything else poor. So that happens a lot in these neighborhoods.
Yeah. And they'll have an interesting time when the mortgages roll over.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen within, I guess, 2 years? Yeah. 3 years and the pandemic. Yeah, it'll be about 2 more years and we'll start seeing some panic there.
Well,
I remember when I was just getting ready to buy a house, interest rates were at 18%.
Yeah.
We didn't. We couldn't at the time, so we continued to rent. And when we did buy, we saved really hard, saved all our lives so that we could pay it off really quickly. And as soon as the house was paid for, my husband retired.
Yeah.
He was done and dusted on the working thing.
Is there an app you couldn't live without?
An app I couldn't live without? I like Netflix, gotta say. I like my calendar. I like my banking apps. I'm not a person who uses a ton of stuff. I don't do Twitter anymore. I completely quit Twitter in 2017 or whatever it is, when he got elected. I completely quit that. Social media, which while was so alluring way back in the 2000s when we were pioneers and just getting into it, right now it not only bores me, it frightens me because of the lunacy that is prevalent there and the fact that people believe this garbage.
Yes. Well, I was there with you, right? I was among the first Twitter users. I loved Twitter.
Yeah.
And I made so many friends through Twitter.
Me too.
I
But you can't do that now.
built a career around Twitter. And now it's like my least favorite place to go.
Yeah, it really is. It's frightening. It's misogynist. Well, it's not even it just hates people, in
And
my
boring.
opinion.
It's just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just boring. Like, people don't go there to be
I think we're in a very lucky place, though. I think we're a bifurcation. We talked when I was younger, working at the phone companies, we talked about convergence and how convergence was going to change everything. We've seen the very edge of the wedge in terms of convergence, the very, very edge of it. And I feel honored that we're here. No one will think of us at this way, but we are the pioneers of a brand new era of learning, of thinking, like people that say, well, kids can't add these days. Well, why do they need to? Mm-hmm. Kids can't write in cursive these days. So what? They don't need to. Let's not look back. Let's look forward and embrace what we can get out of this technology. Not use it for evil, but use it for humanity. Use it for the good. Right now, it's basically used to get power and that type of thing. But I think if we harness it the right way, that it may do us some good. But fighting wars over data and that stuff, I don't want to hear about it.
I have come around to your way of thinking. At first, when I first started having millennials work for me, I was like, why can't they spell? Why can't they add? Why won't they ever pick up the phone? But over time, I've come to understand it doesn't matter that they can't spell.
Yeah. Doesn't matter at all. Right? And don't worry about it. If you can't do long division, don't care. We've got devices for that. Right? Mm-hmm. So why pin that to people, or why even give it passing thought.
Yeah. So having come up in the agencies, though, like in my early days in agencies, the old men that were the pedants, that were like the arbitrators of grammar and spelling, and that was like their power base, because they knew all the rules. They knew it all. They'd read the Oxford English Dictionary. My first editor used to like ball up the piece of paper with my writing on it and beat it at my head if there was ever a mistake in it. But he wouldn't tell me what the mistake was. I had to learn and find it myself and fix it. And he wasn't going to look at my copy. Now, whole news organizations don't even employ copy editors anymore.
No kidding, right? No kidding.
Right.
And I used to care about deadlines a lot. And you know what? No one cares, really. I mean, yeah, you got to pay your bill on time, but what happens? Or the whole world has to just freaking relax a bit. Honestly. I missed to pay my gas bill, and they're phoning me. It's like, honey, I just missed a month. Like, I'm not leaving town. I paid you every month for 40 years. Relax.
Yeah. I'm afraid I'm still deadline oriented.
I'm not anymore. I've transitioned into a job right now where deadlines come and go.
I know. I totally hear you on this. I am paralyzed without a deadline. I really am. Nothing happens.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. It's like, you want this when? Oh, well, whenever you get to it. Well, I won't get to it.
Never. That means never.
It's not that important to me. So when do you need it? Because I'll do it then. But otherwise, there's other sparkly things for me to look at.
Right. Okay. Is there an over 50s life hack you'd be willing to share?
How do you mean a life hack?
Well, for example, one lady said, and I employed it this week, her life hack. One lady said, don't be afraid to have a nap if you've got plans in the evening. And I was like, yeah, that's actually really good advice. So if I have plans in the evening, I will have a nap in the afternoon so that I've got the stamina to get through the evening. And before 50, I didn't need to do that, but I actually do now. So that's one example of a life hack.
Well, a life hack I use is dry hairspray. Oh my God.
Tell me about it.
Dry hairspray. I don't like to wash my hair every day, but you put a little bit of this dry hairspray in there, flip it around a bit, throw a hat on or throw some big earrings on, and you are good to go. And no one will notice the difference, because basically people look at your eyes and listen to your voice. I don't think they really pay that much more attention. Your eyes, your smile, your voice. You are an entity. You are not your hair. You are not what you are wearing. You are the energy you bring into the room. And if you are that energy in a dull suit, you're that energy in a dull suit. If you're that energy in a hat with all your jewels on, you're that energy. But you know what? They want to see you, and they want to meet you, and they want to talk to you. So just no one cares. Again, I'm back to it. No one really cares. I understand that they are focusing on their lives. I am part of their life, but I am not the main attraction. I'm not the main attraction in anybody's life but my own.
Perfect. We'll stop there. That's a great place to stop. This has been 50 Women Over 50, podcast for women whose personal confidence is born of experience. And thank you to my guest, Stacey Diffin-Lafleur, a skilled and talented marketing and communication specialist. This was a very different interview for me because she and I know each other so well, and we communicate in kind of a sibling shorthand. But I'm very proud of everything my sister has achieved, and I'm in awe of her ability to continue to take on life on her own terms, each and every decade. See the show notes to find links to Stacey's socials, to her work, and to information about some of the other things that we talked about on today's show. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed this show, please share a link to it with your friends, or drop me a rating or a review on Apple or wherever you get your podcast from. You can also find my show on YouTube, and please follow me on social media too. Let's connect. Let's create a whole community of wise women over 50. See you next time on 50 Women Over 50. I'm your host, Sherrilynne Starkie.